Hello, everyone. We're on the set of It's My Story, but this time we're talking about love the second time around. A space where it's okay to feel, okay to heal, and okay not to have it all together. Today, I have with me an educator, a minister, a wife, a mother of four, and a very, very good friend of mine, Courtney Wells.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Courtney. Courtney, you know what I was thinking about, and I think about this often. Like, a lot of people don't know that we were actually friends
Right.
when we were in high school. And to this day, like, I don't know, like, what, like, drawn us apart, but we found our way back for sure. But I've hung out at your house a few times. Like, we were cool, we were friends. And you were a really good friend to me during that time. And even now, you're a really good friend. And when I thought about the women that I could pull aside to do this, I really, it, I didn't think of anybody else but you. I knew that you would be the perfect one. So often that women that I know or come in contact with, like, they don't feel worthy. They don't feel like they deserve to be a wife or deserve certain things. And society or people that are in their space also make them feel this way. And so many times, I'm not married, but I will, you know, the way that I feel, I want them to have someone like you because you've talked to me many times in private, had many conversations with me that has helped me tremendously. So, everyone don't have that. So give it to them. So, oh yeah, before we get started, guess what? I have a gift for you.
Okay.
So I have this box. It's a prayer box.
Okay.
So I know that you're an educator and you work in the school system and you come in contact with other women outside of that in the church. And when I was younger, I didn't have anyone, well, people that I thought that I could trust that say, oh, I'll pray for you. And oh, you can tell me. And then they would just tell my business. And a lot of girls nowadays, it's the same. So I feel like if you had this would give them an opportunity. They would trust you to put their prayer in here and you can take it where it needs to go.
Yeah, thank you.
When you hear love the second time around, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's a new beginning.
Mhm.
It means new beginning. It's I mean it's self-explanatory. A second chance. I unfortunately, but fortunately, because we know that all things work for the good. I'm gonna put some God in there because that's just who I am. But starting out, my first marriage, I got married when I was 19.
Uh-huh.
So my first husband and I dated from the age of, I was 16. So
Yeah.
that was all that I knew. And we went through some things, And I try to tell women all the time that it's important to make sure that you know the voice of God for you.
Uh-huh.
Because God was speaking, but I wasn't listening.
Correct.
And so I had to go through some things. I had to go through some triumphs, some warfare that I could have avoided had I been obedient to what God was telling me to do. But, He gives us free will. And so He's not going to make us do anything. And so I chose what I wanted to choose. And in the process, I went through a lot of things that pretty much broke me down to ground zero.
Okay.
And so, love the second time around, now I get the opportunity to see what God says it's supposed to look like. I get the opportunity to experience the love that Christ says a husband is supposed to have for his wife.
Yeah.
You're to love this woman as Christ loved the church so much that he gave himself. And I get the opportunity to see my husband every day
Yeah.
give himself over and over and over again. I don't have to worry, and I say this with confidence, about him looking and lusting after another woman.
Yeah.
That's a safe place for me
Uh-huh.
because of what I dealt with in my first marriage. I mean, it was habitual infidelity. And it was to the place of where it destroyed my confidence. And
Yeah.
people, they don't believe me when I tell them this, but growing up, I grew up with boys.
Uh-huh.
So I never felt pretty. And my brother, oh my goodness, yes. My brother made a it was an everyday thing to tease me. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Oh, this ugly. This. And so I grew up thinking that I wasn't pretty.
That's what it was.
So to actually get married
Uh-huh.
and deal with infidelity,
Uh-huh.
that destroyed the little bit of confidence that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And so love the second time around for me is healing.
Yeah.
It's freedom, it's wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
and it's strength. I mean, it takes some strength to go back in and try again.
And try again.
And it also takes faith.
Yeah.
Because you're trusting God in the unknown. I know what happened previously, and now I have to surrender to let God do what He's going to do all over again, you know? So that's what it means to me. I know that was a lot, but.
No, that was good. And you know what, though? Beforehand, I've seen you walk in your truth. And now, with this marriage, I really see you walking and doing the things that you love without hesitation. And that makes me smile to see you doing things that you want to do without having to worry about so many other things. Looking back, though, although he wasn't, do you think that you were ready for commitment?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that type of commitment.
I want to say at the age of 16. And it's so crazy. I prayed and I told the Lord, I said, look, I need you to send me to my husband.
Uh-huh.
I said, because I don't want to be that woman that's from this man to that man trying to figure it out, being somebody's playground. I didn't want that for myself. But we have to be careful with what we release into the atmosphere because Satan is the prince of the air. And so he took that. And instead of me getting or waiting, having the patience to wait for who God was going to send me to, I invited in the counterfeit. The counterfeit always comes before the real thing. That's something that I've learned. And so, and looking back, it worked for my good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much bad that I can say. It was bad. The trauma was real. The hurt was real. But it was for my good because had I not gone through that, I wouldn't be who I am today. Because that marriage, that's what pushed me into ministry.
Uh-huh.
I learned how to pray.
So you wasn't there at first?
No. I knew that there was a calling on my life all the way from high school, but I tried to run from it.
Uh-huh.
And so when he and I got together, that just increased that run because I was at this place of, let me be who he needs me to be.
I never thought that you wasn't there. I've always thought that you was there.
Girl, I was running, I was clubbing, I was drinking, I was having fun. I was at the restaurant. Let me tell you, I was doing things that I didn't really want to do.
Uh-huh.
And this was to appease him because this is who he was.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me be who I need to be for him to make him happy, to make him smile. And so that's what I did.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to piggyback on that, and you and I talk about this a lot. I know you don't think that I'd be listening, but image. How women carry themselves, how girls carry themselves, how they present themselves, who they're around. Do you think that this has an effect or play a role on them becoming a wife or them finding a husband?
Definitely.
It does.
Definitely. Being raised around boys, one of the things that I learned is that man is going to look at who you associate with.
Mm-hmm.
That man is going to look at how you carry yourself. I will never forget, we were in the club, okay? Don't laugh, don't judge me. We were in the club and I had on a blue jean skirt with a small split at the front, but my skirt came to my knees.
Uh-huh.
I had on a teddy bear, like a teddy shirt. It was see-through from the breast down, but it was a full shirt.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the breast and everything was covered with nice little sleeves. And I had on some nice little wedges. And I thought that I had it going on, okay? Now, my friend, on the other hand, very, very neat shape.
Uh-huh.
She had on some really, really short shorts. I mean, they were about that big.
Uh-huh.
A shirt that looked like a scarf that was just draped around so all of her stomach was out. I mean, I wish I had that body.
Uh-huh.
The guy walks up to her and he was, what up, shorty, yada, yada, yada. And I'm standing there with my back turned, but I'm hearing the whole conversation. I went around to the other side of the room. The same guy approaches me and he says, hey, ma'am, I saw you and I just wanted to come and, And I'm thinking now, you just approached my friend, but this is not the same man that approached her, with the way that you're speaking. So that lets me know men, their level of respect, they look at how you dress, they look at how you carry yourself, they look at how you speak. And they look at even your family members.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they tie you to all of that. They tie you to all of that. And they basically, put a stamp of approval. If this is somebody that I would take home to my mom or to my grandma, whomever is there that they respect, or is this somebody that I would just, take to another location for other things?
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah. How could as women, what would you think? How could we carry ourselves better in the aspect if we are aspiring to be a wife and with image and association? Like, it's so hard when you grow up with people or you've been friends for so long and they are still doing the things that you no longer want to do. And it's kind of hard to like disassociate yourself with this person, and you don't want to just push them off because you're going a different direction. Like, you still, I don't think it's their fault that you want to go a different direction. How would you handle that?
Um, that's a difficult place to be in, and it's not just with friends, but even family. And so my principle is even the trees know when to shed leaves. So you have this tree, right? And in the same season that this tree develops these leaves, they're getting all of the nutrients. The leaves actually provide the tree with a lot of nutrients and substance that it needs. Well, in that next season, the tree has enough sense to do what? Drop them. It turns into fall. And so they drop those leaves because the tree recognizes that if I hold on to these very same leaves that in one season fed me, that in one season nourished me, that in one season it did the things that I needed it to do, but if I continue to hold on it, now these leaves have died. And me holding on to them will also cause me to die. It's going to deplete something. And that's how we have to look at it when we come in contact with people. Yeah. That's the level that I'm at now. Because of the things that I went through, I've learned to put myself and my well-being, whether it's spiritual, emotional, physical well-being, before other people. Yeah. I care about your feelings, but I care about my salvation. I care about my growth. I care about the places that God is going to take me to, and I understand that certain things I can't attach myself to. Okay. So as women, we have to get to that place. Yeah, it's okay for you to still dress that way, but I can't. And I have to be confident enough in me to be okay with that. I was teased in high school and in college because when we went out, I was the one with the capris on. And my friends had the little booty shorts and the mini skirts and stuff. But I was the one that was dressed modestly. Yeah. And for a while, I would sit back and I would wish that I could dress like that. I wished that I had the figure and the shape to do those things. But now that I reflect, you know what that protected me from? Yeah. So many different scavengers. And that's what we can call them, scavengers. Because so many different men, when they saw me, they knew I can't approach her like that. Yeah. Of course. This woman has standards. Even though, she's with them, she has standards. There's a difference. Yeah. And so as women, we have to get to that place. And we also have to get to the place of not being afraid to talk to other women. Older women. Women who have gone through some things that can share that wisdom with us on different things. And know that the truth sometimes hurts. Yeah. But if I love you, I'm going to correct you. If I love you, I'm going to tell you right from wrong. If I love you, I'm going to say, Charlie, you don't need to wear that. Charlie, don't go there. Charlie, I'm going to tell you if I love you. Now, if I don't care about you, do whatever. And I know we have this conversation a lot about image. You throw it in there every
so often you throw it in there, and I'm like, Lord, I know she thinks I'm not listening, but I listen, girl. I be listening, and I always make a mental note of things, and those things are things that I would like to work on, that I work on for sure. So I'm listening.
Yeah, you getting there. It's a progress.
Yeah,
it's a process, rather.
Yeah, and I was just telling Yanika and Kim that my mom, she wasn't an outside woman. She was in church, but there were things that she couldn't show me as a woman that she felt like I should know and that I needed to learn. And you just said that, like, be okay with talking to older women that can show you things and point you in the right directions and to just give you the truth. And I think that's the same with my daughter. I know there are things that I can't teach her that I wasn't taught. So I'm putting her in places, around people that can teach her these things.
And with the way this world is, you want to make sure that we connect our children with the right people.
Yeah.
Because the world, I mean, you think about it now, the perfect image of a woman is the round behind, the small waistline, and all of those things, it changes as you get older. I was looking at myself the other day, and I was looking at my dad who's 81, and I was like, dang, he's aging so well. Charlie got a wrinkle in his face. Now he got the silver hair, but no wrinkles. And so I said to my husband, I said, I hope I age gracefully like that. He said, girl, you are. People don't, to look at you.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure that we're connecting them to the right people, because the world is tainted and it's full of spoils.
Correct.
And if we don't feed them the right things, the world is waiting to just dump stuff on them. You think of social media and all of these different things, all the different avenues that they can get the wrong information from. As parents, we got to have some hard conversations with them, conversations that our parents didn't have with us.
And they're so uncomfortable because I'm having these conversations now, and they're so uncomfortable to have. But once I've had them, I'll say, oh, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah. So we just have to get to that place.
Yeah. Let's go back to the moment in your first relationship where you said, you know what, I deserve better. I have friends right now that are older than me I feel like that are stuck in relationships. And I'm looking at her like, oh my God, you're so beautiful and you work so hard and you're such an amazing woman. And I have to look in the mirror and say the same thing to myself. But I don't know if they know that they deserve better. So let's go back to that moment when it just clicked.
I would have to say it was when I could have lost everything. So I got a phone call one night, and the young lady told me she says, I know that you are a minister. I know you're an evangelist. That's what she says. But I need you to come out of that house sometime. And I said, okay. And she says, I said, what's going on? She said, I need you to come out by the club so you can see what your husband is doing. And she told me everything. I mean, everything. And she says, I'll put you in a car. Nobody ever has to know that you're there. I'm not going to let anybody harm you. She said, but I need you to see because you deserve better. That was 1 year. I want to say that was 2015. Well, I didn't go until 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it because you didn't want to know, or?
I just said that when God is ready for me to see it, I'll see it, because He knows what we can handle. You know what I mean? And so I went to bed one night, and I put my kids to sleep, and I said, God, show me what He's doing.
Yeah.
And I went to bed, and I dreamt the same dream twice. I mean, I literally went to sleep, had the dream, got up, got some water, checked on my kids, laid back down, and had the exact same dream. So a couple of weeks later, I said, okay, let me go and see what's going on. And so I called one of my friends, and I said, hey, come pick me up, and let's ride out. And so we sat literally from 11:30 that night until almost 5 in the morning. And everything that that young lady told me on the phone
was true.
Was true.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this woman grope my then husband. I watched her literally, I mean, just parade around him and touch him in ways as if though that was her husband. Mm-hmm. And so, and then I watched them go around the back of the club together. And of course, I got out of the car. Mm-hmm. I went to the back of the club and I fought. No. Yeah. Yeah. I fought him. I spoke to her. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. But I fought him, and that night we fought like two men. I was literally exposed. I had on no shirt. Thank God for a good bra. I don't. But I had on no shirt. I had on no shoes. And a couple of days, it took me a couple of days to just really process what had happened. Mm-hmm. And I realized, Courtney, do you realize how many women look up to you? Yeah. Young and old. Courtney, do you realize who you are? Courtney, do you realize what you bring to the table? And I had to sit with myself and just look at me. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, God, give me what I need. Give me the strength that I need. Show me what I need to see. Give me everything that I need to walk away and never look back. Yeah. And that still was a process because even with walking away, I went back. Because I had been with this man since I was 16. Yeah. And I had 3 children with him. I walked away and I went back. I walked away and I went back again. Mm-hmm. And finally, I was like, you know what? I can't change him. No matter how much I prayed, no matter how much I fasted, no matter how often I fasted, no matter, it did not matter. I mean, Charlie, there were days that I was literally laying on my kitchen floor, begging, asking him to stay home with me and the kids. Literally, stay at home with us. Let's have a movie night. Let's do this. And he would tell me, no, I got to go and help them run the club. But he was seeing the different women, and so those things played over in my mind, and Holy Spirit spoke to me and says, you can't, you've been praying selfishly all this time, first of all. Because if a man can't love me, if a woman can't love me, how are they gonna love somebody else? If that person can't respect me as being the Lord and Shepherd and Savior of their lives, how will he or she respect a man or a woman as being a husband or a wife? I can't do that. Mm-hmm. We got to look at the order of things. And so I finally just said, hey, I'm done. And it was literally just like that. Just like that. It was a text message. Hey, when are you getting your stuff out of the house? And you felt it and you knew, like, yeah. The other times when you said that. The other times when I said it, I meant it. I meant it. Mm-hmm. But I was listening to other people. Well, y'all got these 3 kids together. Well, you are a minister and you're not supposed to do this and you're not. And that's why I say it's imperative that we know God for ourselves and we read the word for ourselves, because in there it tells us that if there's sexual immorality, correct, that's adultery, that's fornication, and in my case, it was habitual. I mean, constant. You have the right to walk away. And you are free to remarry. Mm-hmm. Now, if you decide you want to divorce just because you're not happy, that's a horse of a different story. Yeah. But when somebody literally defiles the marital bed, that covenant, he broke our covenant several times. And it was just time. You felt it at time. Yeah. You knew, not felt it. I was afraid. Mm-hmm. I was afraid because, once again, the confidence was an issue. And I'm looking at myself like, who's going to love me? You're so beautiful, though. I didn't see that. I kept, in my mind, I'm looking at all the different women. And I'm trying to see, okay, what does she have that I didn't have.
Is it common for us to feel like that as women?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and I mean, it can really really break you down.
Yeah.
Charlie, I stopped going places. I mean, the most that I would go was to church and to get my hair done to my mom's house because of the fear of all these different women, that were possibly with him.
Yeah.
I even had, a couple of them when I worked in this particular place. And I had students that were coming in. These are grown people now. Several of them at that point were actually sleeping with him. And so they were coming in all giggly, and I'm wondering, like, okay, what's so funny? But you're laughing because you're looking at my file cabinet where there's a picture of me and him and our children. And you're laughing because 9 times out of 10, you just got off the phone with him.
Correct.
Or you just, left him. So it was hard. It was hard. Yeah. And I still felt unworthy. I still felt damaged. And I was just at this place of, look, I don't want another husband. I can just focus on ministry and my children. I'm good with that. That's where I was.
And evidently God had other plans.
Oh, yeah.
Because at 16, you aspired to be a wife. You asked him for that. So if you asked him for that, of course he wasn't going to let that be the end of it.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. What made you open your heart again?
Now, this is going to be funny. So, my now husband and I were really good friends for a long time. And, people can't, when they see a man and a woman talking, people automatically go to, oh, they must be, seeing each other. And so I had was going through my divorce, as a matter of fact. And when everything was finalized, I picked up the phone and I called him because I also found out that he was going through a divorce. And the crazy thing was, there was no communication. He knew, that I was going through a divorce because he was one of the ones that I would talk to. And this man always tried to give me sound advice. Courtney, watch what you do, watch what you say. Give him some slack, cut him some slack. He's a man. We grow up, a little bit slower. He would make excuses for him.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. But I was sitting there one day and I was like, you know what? Everything that I have prayed to see in my first husband, I see in him.
The good things that you had prayed for.
Everything. Wanting to spend time with family, going to church, honoring, your family, respecting your family. I had never heard anything bad about this man. Never. Okay. Never heard about him being with other women. None of that. Every time I saw him, he had his little girls with him, and it was in church.
Yeah.
And so, I called him one day, or did I text him? I think I might have called him. And I told him how I felt. I was like, look, you've seen me at my worst. I've seen you at your worst. They're already saying we're seeing each other. So let's see where this goes. Yeah. And because we were really good friends, you know what he did? He laughed at me. He was like, girl, you don't get your little self off my phone. And so it went out months before he realized that I was actually serious. And, my mom has always told me, if it's something that you want, you better open your mouth and say something. Yeah. And so that's what I did. But it took him months to realize that I was actually serious. But the crazy thing is, I was bold enough to say that. But then when things started moving, I ran.
Yeah, I remember us having this conversation. Were you scared, or were you seeing things that made you run, or did you run back? That's the question.
I ran because.
Did you run did you run and it was just you, or did you run back to the relationship?
Both.
Okay.
And so part of me running was because still in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this man ain't gonna love you. You know, what do you want with you? Why would he want you? This is going on in my head because I'm still seeing this damaged girl. Right. Okay. And so we had several conversations, and I would share with him because I was just at this place, Charlie. I didn't trust people. I couldn't talk to anybody, including my family. Um, and God did that for a reason. You know,
He didn't want you to talk to nobody but him.
Talking to them. Yeah. He wanted me to be in a place of where I completely trusted what he was saying.
Right. Yeah.
And so I realized that I was dealing with depression. I was suicidal. Yeah. I was extremely agitated and aggravated, and I felt my heart waxing cold. Okay. I was literally at a place of where I told God, I said, you know what? Nobody cared about the fact that I was his wife.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my lick back. Those women, how they were chasing him, still not realizing it was still his choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my lick back. And God said, no, you're not. You're not gonna do that. That's not who you are. And so I ended up talking to my husband on the phone one day, talking to Corey, who was just my friend. And I told him that I had an episode of where I was severely depressed. And he asked me, he says, how long are you going to let that go on? He says, you need some help. And I'm looking like, how dare you say that to me? He says, you need some help. You need to get you some therapy. And got the therapy and everything, and I started my healing process. And I want to say that that's what helped me to change, to finally start to see who I actually was.
Did Corey name come up in therapy?
It did.
It did, okay.
It did. He actually went with me to my first session to make sure that I went.
Now, that's awesome.
He went, he literally rode with me. He said, you need to go to therapy. And, you know, like I said, that's love.
Yeah.
That's love. Even in the midst of me saying, okay, hey, I got it together and let's see where this works. And then turning around, walking away. And then saying, okay, hey, I got it figured out now. This is where I want to be. And then turning and pulling back because now I'm afraid. I'm afraid that you're going to do the same thing that he did. That man was so patient. When I tell you, he showed me the meaning of love is patient and love is kind. Because even when he had opportunities, Charlie, to talk about me, you know, to just be angry. You know, I'm angry. You done walked away from me and I'm pouring out my heart to you. When he had the opportunity to talk about me or to discuss me, he didn't.
Yeah.
And he would shut people up. Didn't matter who it was.
And see, I love that about men that can do that. I love that about men that can do that. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
I hope I answered that.
You did. You did. And you also answered this question, but you can go into details. I don't know. It's like you know what I'm about to ask you because you said it. What do you love the most about Corey?
So many things. His patience. The fact that he loves God. The fact that he wants to please God. Let me tell you this story. Okay. So we're watching TV, right? And we doze off. And I kept feeling him wake up, you know, get up, and I'm laying over on his shoulder. And so a couple of days went by, and he finally told me, he says, God told me to cover and protect you. He says, you remember we were sitting on the couch and we both dozed off. I don't know what we were watching. He says, but I felt something pull at my arm. He says, and I woke up, and I'm like, what was that? I didn't see anything. He says, so of course I dozed back off. He says, and it did it again. He said, and I woke up, and he's like, okay, what is really going on? He said, so I just sat there for a little while. He said, and finally, I dozed back off. He said, that third time, he says, I opened my eyes. He said, and I heard just as clear, cover and protect her. So I love the fact that he listens. He has a desire to hear from God. He has a desire to lead. He has a desire to be a husband. That man told me, I'm not a boyfriend. I'm a husband.
I like that. And that was going to be my next question. How long? Like, were you guys dating?
We did date. We did date.
Or so at the time with the story you just told me, were you guys dating or were you married then?
We were friends.
You just friends.
Both divorced, but we were friends.
So how long did it take you guys to get married?
Let's see. We got married December 2019. So it was maybe a year of actual dating, consistent dating.
Yeah. So it doesn't take long.
No.
No, they know.
They know.
They know. So the ones that are taking long and prolonging the process and with these different excuses, and no matter what you show to them or prove to them, if they're not ready or if you're not ready, then it won't be done.
Right. They know. They a lot of them know early on.
I see this in you, but you can answer it. Do you feel more at peace?
Oh yeah.
In this marriage.
When I was in my first marriage, I did accept my call to ministry, and I did my first message, I want to say April 17th, 2011. But I felt like I had to dim my light. Okay. There were certain things that I could not discuss because of the fear of how my then husband would receive it and what I'm going to have to hear when I get back home.
Yeah.
I'll never forget I did a message and I mentioned my friend, because I didn't want to say who that friend was. You know, I'm delivering a message. And so when we made it home, I want to say on the way home, he was like, well, who was a friend? You know, you got people thinking this, that, and the other. And I'm like, it's a girl. I just didn't want to call her name because, you know, I want to protect that.
Yeah.
I don't have to walk on eggshells with what I say.
Yeah.
My husband now is like, girl, if God told you to say it, just say it. You know,
I like that.
If he tells you to do it, do it. I don't have to, you know, even just question, oh, can I go this place to minister, or can I do this? Or I just went to a all night prayer shut-in.
Yeah.
I was like, you going to church. You going to pray for us. You going to hear from the Lord. Girl, go. See you later. Love you. I couldn't do that.
I love that.
I couldn't do that back then. You know, that was going to be a problem. There were times that I had to choose, are you going to come to my softball game or are you going to church? I want you to come. Yeah. And that's who I am, Charlie. Yeah,
I know.
It's who I am.
I've known that since we were kids. Like, I've always known that. Yeah. What advice would you give women who aspire to be a wife?
First and foremost, get into the Word. Get into the Word. Develop a relationship with God. Know who you are in Christ. Okay? Because when we know who we are in Christ, we don't have to listen to the comments that come from other people that try to tell us who they think we are. You know, being a wife requires sacrifice. Yeah. So I would say, you know, studying the Word, knowing how to give yourself, how to give up yourself, how to close your mouth. Studying what does submission look like?
Girl, are you reading off my card? But continue.
Yes, studying what submission looks like, because you have so many women that feel like being submissive means that I don't have a voice. Yeah. And that's not what it means. That means that I respect who my husband is. This is the priest of my home. And so it's God, the husband, the wife, and then the children. Yeah. That's protocol. That's the way that it's supposed to be. So I have to know, let me tell you, I've learned that I can listen to my husband give an idea. And I may be thinking in my mind, okay, baby, I'm sorry. I may be thinking in my mind, like, Lord, fix this, because I just don't see how it's. But instead of me saying, well, I don't think, and I'm like, okay. And in my mind, I'm still, Lord, fix this. Show him a different way. Or I might say, well, baby, do you think such and such and such? I can still get my point across.
Yeah. Okay.
I can still release the control of the ultimate decision to be his or ours together, but I don't have to come at him like that little chihuahua. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As women, especially as black women, we don't know how to do that.
No.
And it's not our fault.
No.
But it's society because of what we've been taught. We got to be strong. We got to be independent. We got to know how to do things and handle things on our own. We got to stand our ground.
Yeah.
That's what we've been taught. We got to take care of ourselves because nobody else is going to do it. But that's why it's important to be in the word, to know and to be able to recognize that godly man. Because when he comes along, you don't, baby, the feeling of just being able to be feminine.
Yeah.
I don't have to. I know how to change that light bulb, but I don't have to do it.
Correct.
I know how to put down vinyl floors,
but
I don't have to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just you got to spend time with God. You got to know who you are. And then you have to get to that place of being okay with being vulnerable. That was one of the hardest things. Yeah. Being able to just what does Martin Lawrence say? Woosah. Okay. Being able to just let it all out. There were times when I would try my best not to even cry. I was just this hard shell. And so when I got with my husband, it was like I just be crying and just letting everything out, and I'd still be telling him all in the same breath, I don't know why I'm doing this. But that was a safe place.
A safe place for you.
It was a safe place. So my message to women is, spend time with God. Spend time with yourself. Learn the things that you like. I didn't even know who I was, Charlie. Yeah. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I disliked because I spent all those years trying to be what he wanted me to be. Yeah. And so when we went through the separation and the divorce, I got an opportunity to say, oh, I like this. I like reading. I like going this place. I like traveling. I like listening to different types of music. I like dancing. Yeah. But I didn't know that. And so getting to know yourself. And so when you know yourself and that person comes along, yeah, you want to come and be as one, but you know who you are by yourself. So you don't have to camouflage or be this chameleon to be who that person wants you to be. You can actually show your authentic self. Okay. And so that's a big part of it. So spend time with God, know who you are, develop a prayer life. Yeah, it's going to all be rooted in the word, all because everything takes us back to that. And don't be afraid to do what you've never seen. Okay. So, as you stated, there were some things that your mom couldn't teach you. Yeah. There are some things that my mom couldn't teach me. And my mom was married to my dad. Is married still to my dad. But I saw some things in their relationship that I didn't want to see in mine. Correct. Crazy thing was I did the exact same thing in my first marriage. So this one is intentional. We got to make sure that we're breaking cycles. We got to make sure that we're willing to do the things that nobody else really showed us how to do. But because I have a connection with God, I trust God to show me how to do it. If that makes sense. It does. So it's, trusting, even though I didn't have anybody to teach me, in your case, how to be a wife. I'm trusting God to teach me. That was one of my prayers in my first marriage. And it's still one of my prayers today. God, show me how to be the wife that you called me to be. Right. Okay. I didn't know how to cook, Charlie. And this man we were eating at my mom's house. And he told me, he says, I want to have your food. And I'm like, Lord, I don't know how to cook though. I can wash clothes, I can clean up, but I don't know how to cook. Girl, I was fixing pork chops and stuff every day. They were too salty. It was a mess. And I'd be looking at him like, you gonna eat that? Because I wouldn't eat it. You know what I mean? But I tried. And one day after he said that to me, I prayed and I asked God, teach me how to be the wife that you have called me to be. Not the wife that my mom is, not that, this person that I've seen, but who you've called me to be.
Yeah.
And so establish that connection with God. Ask him to show you who you need to be, who you are.
Yeah.
And to create that wife in you. Yeah. Even before you get the husband.
Uh-huh. So, for example, in my relationship now, like you say, he taught you things like this relationship, this person came into my life and taught me literally everything that I know. I'm cooking cornbread from scratch now. Girl, I'm managing my money now. I'm doing things, financially. I'm taking care of my kids the proper way. And I wasn't even thinking about, marriage. I'm thinking that, oh, he see me doing this amazing job with my children. I'm a good mom. I'm safe. I'm a good person. I'm kind to him. Oh, I know I'm going to be a wife. Girl, 3 years passed, 5 year passed, 10 years passed, 12 years passed. And I'm like, oh, wow, this may not be, this, I may not ever be a wife.
Right.
And I think about it and, they tell you to make this list and you say like, well, why would I jeopardize what's good that's going on just because I want to be a wife? How do you manage that? Because now it doesn't even cross my mind. Like at one point it did, but now I'm like everything is, you know, it's not bad, and I don't necessarily have to have that title. I'm not. Nothing is what's the word? Disrespectful. I'm not hearing nothing. Nothing is disrespectful. Nothing is disrespectful to me. Nothing is disrespectful to him. And maybe I just would never have that title.
I want to say this carefully.
Uh-huh.
But I shoot it straight from the hip, right?
You do. Uh-huh. Every time.
So there's this thing with comfort. Whenever we're comfortable, we have the tendency to just stay in that place. Mm-hmm. And so this has become a comfortable place for you. But comfort kills. Mm-hmm. Comfort causes us to miss out. Comfort is also too linked to fear.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so when you say you wanted to be a wife, that was something that you wanted, and so now after all of these years, it didn't come to your mind. I think that you need to go back and reprogram. Okay. Wash it clean and reprogram, because at the end of the day, you got to give an account. For everything that you've done in this earth. Okay. And so it goes back to a place of stating what you want, mm-hmm. being okay, and being open and free enough to tell him what it is that you desire, and giving him the opportunity to meet it. And if he doesn't, do the next best thing. Because it's not about how you feel in this body, but it's going to be about what happens after you get rid of this body.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think about that often.
Mm-hmm. You got to give an account.
Yeah.
And my thing is, people say it's nothing but a paper, but marriage is so much more than that. Yeah. Marriage is covenant. And if we know anything about covenant, in covenant, there's protection, there's provision, there's promises. And so I would rather be in a covenant relationship, one that is covered by God, one that is honored by God, than to be in a relationship that it's just comfortable.
It's just comfortable. Correct.
Okay.
I get it.
So I think you got to go back to that drawing board. Okay. What's more important? Is it the way that I feel now? Or is it when I stand before God? He's not going to ask you, what did he do? Because he got to give an account for himself.
Correct.
What did you do?
Yeah.
Did you know what I was requiring of you, that you know. And then marriage, here's the thing, Charlie, marriage is not for everybody.
Uh-huh.
Okay? That just because I'm married does not mean that this young lady is called to be a wife. Some people are called to singleness because God wants their undivided attention. He wants them completely devoted to them. But he says that, it's better to marry than to burn.
Yeah.
Okay, burn with that passion and burn and lust, which we know opens a door to other things.
Uh-huh.
So my suggestion to you, as I stated, is to go back to the drawing board and ask God to give you the boldness, the holy boldness to reclaim the things that you said that you wanted, to reclaim the things that he said that you could have, and to present those things. And if it's not honored, to give you the strength to do what he says that you need to do. Because I can tell you all day long, walk away. Mm-hmm. I can tell you all day long, start over. I can tell you all these different things, but at the end of the day, you have to do what God tells you to do. Walk in complete obedience to whatever it is, and it may not be easy.
Yeah.
Starting over isn't easy. It's scary. It may not be easy to stand in front of somebody and tell them what it is that you expect. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm a wife, and I need you to see that I am that mm-hmm. wife, and I need you to honor me in that way. Mm-hmm. And if you can't do it, then we got to do something else, because my soul is at stake. Your soul is at stake.
Correct. And that's mostly what I worry about.
And then you think about what we introduce to our children. Uh-huh. When we allow these type of relationships to go forward, we're telling our children, hey, this is okay. And so we create cycles. Mm-hmm. And that's not what we want. Mm-hmm. Because children, they don't do what we tell them to do. They do what we show them. They do what they see. Correct. And so how can we say out of this side of our mouths, hey, you need to marry. You need to do this. You don't need to fornicate. You don't need to. But then they see something completely different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, we got to look at that too. We don't want to create cycles. We want to break them. Yeah. We don't want to create curses. We want to destroy them.
All right. 3 questions I want you to answer. And we will end here. Love now feels like
joy.
Joy. That's good. Marriage taught me 1 word.
Patience.
Okay. That's good. And the woman I am today is
courageous.
Courageous. I love that. Thank you so much, Courtney, for sitting with me. Like I said, I wouldn't have thought of a better person to do this. We have these conversations often. I call you, text you, hey, what do you think about this? I need your help with this. And you always, it's just maybe a phone call away to just help me and guide me.
Yeah. I thank you for entrusting me to do this. I'm trying not to cry because it's definitely a humbling experience, and it's an honorable experience to sit in this place. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of It's My Story, Love the Second Time Around, and tune in for more.